Hello, my name is Elio, and welcome to my reflection. Um, I've been wondering recently about this topic of at what point can we actually blame ourselves for something that has been done, right? So imagine this scenario. Um, you're out with your friend, and your friend is having a bad day. Somehow, I don't know, their day gets a little bit annoying for them. They get hungry, or they have an argument with someone, and and then all of a sudden, a loved one calls them, their mom, their partner, their friend, and they're going to have an argument with them over the phone, and it doesn't end well. Okay, it'll be a little bit bitter, and then during the whole time you're there as their friend. Um, and then all of a sudden, after that um, horrible conversation, let's say uh, with their mum, they just come back to you and then say, "Oh, um, I shouldn't have done this. Like, I'm such a horrible person speaking to my mum like that." And you, as a friend, knowing exactly what happened during the rest of the day previous to that conversation with their mum, and realizing that, oh, there's so many horrible things happen to that person before the conversation, get back to them and then say, don't blame yourself for that. These things can happen to all of us. You had a horrible day, you got hungry, you didn't have food, your blood pressure and down, and uh, you had an argument with that stranger, and then all of a sudden your mom called, and it wasn't the right moment, and you just lost it, and that's fine. And instead of that, instead of basically blaming yourself for it and then just telling yourself you're a horrible person, just let it to cool down a little bit, and then call your mom and perhaps just explain the situation, and I'm sure she will be understanding enough to um, to understand that you had a bad day, and you guys can actually make it up to each other. You act so kindly to your friend and so understanding to your friend because you have seen what happened to them from the outside throughout the day. But then, imagine this scenario now. Imagine you're out on your own, and the same thing that happened to your friend happens to you. I don't know about you, but personally, I have a higher tendency to put the blame on myself. I can be softer and more understanding with other people than I am with myself. But then, why should it be like that? Why should I call myself a horrible person because I spoke to my loved one not the way I was expecting, but then at the same time be so understanding to my friend if the same situation happens to them? Well, perhaps because we are from outside in the second scenario. We are seeing someone else doing something, we're just observing them. But then when it's in our own mind, sometimes we fail to observe ourselves. Sometimes our mind is so drowned, is so busy with what's going on within it, that it fails to actually just look at itself and see what it's doing. And as a result of that, we end up being so harsh to ourselves, right? All I'm trying to say is that not everything that we do, not every outcome is a result of our fault. And sometimes you have to look at yourself like a friend is looking at you, like the way you look at a friend that is valuable for you. Because again, the outsider role tells us that we are always kinder and more understanding to people around us, but then we are always very harsh to what's going on within our head. But why should it be like that? Perhaps we can remind ourselves that I'm your friend and I'm here for you, and I have seen what happened to you during the day. Perhaps we can remind ourselves, just like the friend does, the things that we've gone through. Did I eat a good food? Um, did I have a good day? Was there something that actually uh, affected my day that caused this thing that I call a horrible outcome? And I'm sure if we actually get deep enough, we always find something that caused a situation like that to happen. And perhaps what we can ask ourselves is that, did I actually use my 100% at the time? And I'm not sure about you again, but with me, majority of the time, if I reflect back, I have used my 100% of my capacity, and at the time, that was my 100%, and that's fine. You don't have to be the best all the time. You don't have to be performing or perhaps outperforming every other person in the planet all the time. In fact, you don't even have to do it anytime. All you need to do is to just make sure you have been in your 100% at the time. And sometimes we're not, and that's fine. Because again, there are things out of our control. So, wouldn't that make more sense for us to try and have a better rest of the day than to just ruminate about what happened and how horrible of a person I am? Or I need to get better, I need to be better. Better at what? Maybe we don't need to get better. Maybe we just need to be there at the time, learn from the lessons, and then let it go. So, at what point do you think you can actually blame yourself for something? And I would really love to hear your opinion on this. If you do actually blame yourself for something, do you think is that helpful? Perhaps it is. Perhaps it's something that I'm not looking at here. If the blaming helps you in some sort of way, I would love to hear about it. So please leave in the comment section if you have any similar experience or if you have any different experience. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you for being in this video with me. Have a good day and bye bye.